Activists and citizens gathered at the Unitarian Universalist congregation of Las Vegas, calling on local lawmakers to address police violence. Members of the community took turns speaking about their alleged personal experiences with police. Attendees claim police officers in Nevada and across the country are rarely held accountable for using lethal force. Activists are calling on local lawmakers to look into the problem and draft laws to hold officers more accountable for their actions.
Police have an incredibly difficult job, and I respect the job that they have to do, but when it comes to transparency and accountability, that is not what happens with Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department.
We have to work in concert with our elected officials to look at the data, to look at what legislation needs to be passed.
There was also a sign posted outside this meeting saying no police officers were allowed inside. We reached out to Metro to see if they were aware of this hearing or if they wanted to comment, but we are still waiting to hear back. New tonight, businesses are clapping back. Nevada has the most negative online reviewers in the country, and business owners aren't staying silent.
13 Action News reporter Shonda Lancey is live near the Strip with the best way for businesses to get over that critical hump. Sean.
Ross, Jackie, a lot of Las Vegas businesses have a lot to offer, but you never find that out for yourself if you run into a wall of negative reviews online. A new study says there's a lot more of those out there than you might think.
Starting a business is hard. Maintaining one can be even harder in the modern, internet-focused world. Cindy West is a social media influencer.
It's all depends on like influencers, people like Yelp, TripAdvisor or Google for people to find out what's around and what's new and what's good and what they like.
According to a new study from Wombly Marketing, Nevada is the least kind state in the country for online reviews. More than 33% are negative.
Maybe we're hard to please because we expect more.
But bad reviews may not be a bad thing. The same study says more reviews overall and more recent reviews correlate to higher business revenue, whether those reviews are good or bad, and businesses replying to reviews should increase revenue as well. Some local businesses are firing back to the harsh criticism with sarcasm. Maybe I should fire my whole staff. Average Joes hate our pizzas. Don't be average. Or calling out rude behavior. Quote, thanks for calling the restaurant and cussing out my manager twice.
I think the owners are right. I don't think these owners have to appease to everybody.
A Wisconsin vet clinic took retaliation a step further, filing a lawsuit in response to alleged fake online reviews.
As many small business owners know, you don't necessarily have an unlimited marketing budget to.
James Barton, attorney for Lakeview Animal Clinic, says the reviews came after the clinic was forced to euthanize a dog after a vet was bitten 31 times.
Google took down a few of them, but ultimately Lakeview was left without options.
West says another option is to respond to negative reviews with positive press.
Go another route.
Taking to social media with the best you've got to give to overcome the cranky customer. Sean Delancey, 13 Action News.
Sean, thank you. Right now, taking a live look outside where another heat alert is moving into the valley.
An excessive heat warning in effect for most of next week, and we are your first alert weather station. Leah Pizzetti is here now with how hot it's going to get and when that warning officially kicks in. Leah.
Yeah, this is the time of year when we should be cooling down, but that is not the case this week. Couple live looks outside right now. We can see from our Strat camera, Valley View, and Mandalay Bay, a beautiful night in store. Today actually wasn't that bad. Right now, temperatures are bearable. We're at 87 degrees here in Las Vegas, 80 degrees in Henderson. North Las Vegas, you're sitting at 88 degrees right now. Mild winds in store. We did see some gusty conditions today, but as those winds die down, our temperatures are going to be picking up. For tonight, we're looking at lows in the 70s. These are going to be picking up this week as well. And then for tomorrow, triple digits do make a comeback. 105 in store for Las Vegas. This is just the beginning. It's going to get even warmer. I'll have a look on the alert the National Weather Service has issued coming up in your full forecast in just about 13 minutes.
Okay, Leah, thank you. Remember, we are your first alert weather station. You can download the free KTNV app to learn what the weather will be like in your neighborhood. Now, the app features interactive radar and current weather conditions.
All new at 11, embattled chef Mario Batali no longer owns a stake in Italy. A spokesperson for the restaurant says Batali hasn't had any direct involvement with the company since 2017. He added that Italy has just bought Batali's minority interest. That formally ends their relationship. A woman says Batali groped and forcibly kissed her as they were taking a selfie. Batali's 3 Valley restaurants closed last year and he was kicked off of the Chew. He pleaded not guilty during his arraignment in May.
Right now, we're waiting to find out whether Clark County teachers will walk off their jobs. The teachers union is discussing a district-wide strike, and a decision is expected tomorrow. CCEA Executive Director John Vellaradita says if the district moves ahead with plans to bring their raise offer to the Board of Trustees, there will be a strike. The offer would give teachers a 3% raise next year. It would also provide step increases and increased medical compensation for the next 2 years. Vellaradita says that's just fulfilling a promise the legislator made to them during the last session.
These teachers have been on a freeze for 2 years. They had their salary reduced by 0.625% when they started the school year. Enough's enough. This is serious. So unless there's a change in their position, there will be a strike.
CCSD officials say this offer is the most significant raise in both pay and benefits teachers have seen in a decade. Now they're hoping that all of the public employee unions sign the contract if it passes the Board of Trustees.
People living on Mount Charleston are upset after they say NV Energy cut down some trees.
Neighbors claim the company had told them in a town hall meeting that there were no plans to remove trees, and if there were, they would be notified.
So we sent 13 Action News reporter Cynthia Maldonado to find out what is going on.
Take a look at this cut down tree. This right here is a perfect example of why so many residents in the Mount Charleston area are upset. They tell me a few weeks ago, NV Energy told them if and when they were to cut down trees, they would let the residents know. But the residents tell me that never happened and they had no clue trees were going to be cut down this morning.
Just cutting trees down without telling anyone is just, it really upsets people.
Katie and her husband Jim Alderson are longtime residents of Mount Charleston.
We're in a pristine forest area.
But that pristine area is losing trees because some are near the power lines.
The residents now are up in arms because they saw a whole troop of trucks out here today getting ready to cut down some trees, some old growth trees, and they feel like they've been lied to.
So we were under the impression that if they were going to cut down trees that everyone would be notified.
They admit to NV Energy in a town hall meeting explained to several residents that some trees may pose a threat to a wildfire if they fall over, especially during summer months.
I understand NV Energy needs to maintain their lines. I think that's a good idea, but I wish they would have communicated with us that they were about to do that.
The couple guesses that the company plans to chop down more trees.
We infer that because every number is different, that it means that it's the number of trees.
There's a bunch of trees, 200 in fact, that are slated for removal.
They believe these numbers, spray painted on the tree trunks, could only mean that. We reached out to NV Energy to get an explanation. We're still waiting on our response. In the meantime, residents just want transparency.
They have not been communicative with anyone, and it's really hard to get straight answers.
Cynthia Maldonado, 13 Action News.
And as Cynthia mentioned, we have been in communication with NV Energy all day long. A spokesperson says she is currently looking into what happened. As soon as we hear back, we will let you know.
Well, if you're looking for a job, there are openings in construction and other trade fields. The city of Las Vegas is hosting a hiring event on Tuesday from 1 to 6 at the Las Vegas City Hall near Main Street and Clark Avenue. Now, we have a link to register on our website. Just go to ktnv.com/links. New tonight, a freak and deadly accident. A plane crashes into a home, killing 2 people. The warning sign before it happened.
Plus, club enforcement. 13 investigates how regulators crack down on sex, drugs, and danger.
And sex in public restrooms. It's apparently a big problem, and one town is hoping to stop it through shame and humiliation.
We'll be back in just 2 minutes.
That's 911. We need an ambulance to the scene.
New tonight, a deadly plane crash in New York State. Authorities say the pilot of the plane and one resident inside the home were both killed. 2 other passengers did survive. A father and 2 daughters were inside the home when the plane hit last night.
It was so hot that you could not go near the house at that point. I saw the plane sticking out of the house. I mean, you could see, I'm not even sure what I was looking at.
A terrifying scene, that's what he was looking at. Authorities say the plane reported engine trouble shortly after takeoff. One occupant of the home is still unaccounted for tonight.
Day clubs and nightclubs are becoming a bigger and bigger part of the Vegas experience, and hotels are cashing in.
But along with the profit comes the potential for problems. Drugs, sex, and safety all come into play at these clubs.
Now tonight, 13 investigative reporter Joe Bartel shows you why it's in the club's best interest to self-regulate and what can happen when they don't.
Nightclubs bring in millions for hotels on the Strip each year, and it's growing. Some estimates put the revenue at more than $500 million. With that kind of cash, compliance with state regulators is key. On any given night, it's a party in Sin City.
Any club that's our size, you're talking 3,000 to 5,000 people every time the doors open.
And with all those people comes layers of security, a constant choreography of searching, wanding, ID checks, and looking for what doesn't belong.
We don't tolerate it one single bit.
The Wynn and Encore take the top 2 spots among the 50 best casinos in America as determined by people using TripAdvisor. And Vice President of Security and Crisis Management Todd Fasulo is determined to ensure the properties stay safe.
Well, I think a lot of it comes from my previous experience of being a police officer for so long.
The former Las Vegas Police Assistant Sheriff says the club industry as a whole in Las Vegas has changed a lot in the past decade.
But years ago, we recognized at Metro that we needed to get out in front of the club industry and actually put some best practices in place.
13 Investigates searched Gaming Control Board records for the past 10 years. At the time, the Gaming Control Board put all casino nightclubs on notice. Regulators were concerned about incidents of excessive inebriation, drug distribution and abuse, violence, the involvement of minors, and the handling of those individuals who became incapacitated while at the club. In 2009, Planet Hollywood was ordered to pay a $750,000 fine. Regulators found club employees tossed overly drunk patrons into the casino in various states of consciousness and left them unattended, a practice known as dumping. In 2010, an undercover investigation by Las Vegas police found club staff at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino offered detectives drugs, girls, and a locked private restroom for drug use. The property was fined more than $500,000.
That is a big deal. That is the teeth to the industry, is gaming and the local liquor laws. So Metro's got jurisdiction over us just as much as Gaming Control does.
One of the largest single fines came against the Palms in 2012. Authorities say club staff offered and sold cocaine to an undercover officer, also offering prostitutes. The property was fined more than $1 million during the course of that investigation. And in 2014, Mandalay Bay was fined more than $500,000 after Foundation Room staff sold cocaine and ecstasy pills to undercover officers. Fasulo says it's critical for clubs to police themselves.
The hotels themselves, their license is on the hook for anything that may be bad that occurs in a club environment, right? We have gaming, you have alcohol, you have an alcohol license, a gaming license.
The Wynn and Encore properties have yearly employee compliance training. Fasulo says everyone from hosts to cocktail servers and security are clear on the expectations.
We are zero tolerance. We will search every bag. We will pat down every person. We wand every person. We don't allow any type of narcotic. We don't allow any type of prescription. We don't allow any type of weapons. It doesn't matter if it's a pocket knife with a 1-inch blade. It's not coming into the club.
The Gaming Control Board tells 13 Investigates new legislation passed in 2015 has allowed for more scrutiny and oversight for clubs and operators. The board continues their covert checks and investigates violations and takes action when needed to keep clubs safe. Joe Bartels, 13 Action News.
All right, now trending. She is the princess of pop, and she's still on top of her money game. We're talking about Britney Spears, of course. She has made over $2.5 million just last year. That's according to court documents obtained by a website, The Blast. These documents also show the former Strip headliner's net worth is nearly $60 million. Spears listed $400,000 in expenses. She also reportedly made over 80 trips to Target in 2018. Her other shops of choice appear to be Ralph's and Home Depot. All right, stopping people from having sex in public restrooms. Apparently, that's a thing. And one Welsh town is hoping to stop the trend with some unique toilets.
All right, so here's how it'll work. Once the toilet detects inappropriate behavior, it will sound an alarm, spray cold water, and automatically open the doors. Apparently, those public bathrooms have weight sensors that can determine if more than one person has entered. Additional sensors will then pick up on other activities. So I imagine that some Vegas restrooms could probably use this. I don't know.
I wasn't going to go there, but yeah.
I did.
I don't know what's going on in Wales that it must be a widespread problem if they're really going to take up this on a larger scale.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You want to touch this or you want to just move along the
I
forecast?
say we move on.
All right, move right along then.
It was a nice day today.
It sure was.
Today was our break, so hopefully you enjoyed today because the heat is going to be making a comeback this week. I do want to show you guys some video. It was a gorgeous sunset this evening, actually.
Wow.
The National Weather Service Las Vegas posted this video. It's a gorgeous time lapse. I want to make sure we get to the good stuff. So hopefully everybody got a look at this one. Can we see those colors? Okay, ready? Here we go. Oh my goodness. Man.
We caught the tail end of that after our earlier shows, and
Yes.
it was beautiful.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wow, there we go. Sweet spot. Look at your TV right now. All right, there it went. Okay, so the reason we saw that really awesome sunset is because of some cloud coverage that was moving on through. Those clouds are going to dissipate through the next couple of hours, though, and then we're going to see clear sunny skies the rest of the week. Today's high was 104 degrees. We typically are at 102 degrees, so just a smidge warmer than that, and we're going to get even warmer than that through the next couple of days. It's going to be a gradual warming. So for tomorrow, just a tiny bit warmer than what we felt today. 105 is our expected high here in Las Vegas. Only a couple 90s on the horizon, mostly triple digits dominating for tomorrow. Closer look at our valley floor, we can see 100 to 105 is the range for most of our areas except for Whitney and Henderson. You're looking at 108 degrees for tomorrow, so definitely a toasty one. Not too bad as you send the kids off to school. We're looking at 79 degrees right around 7 a.m. That's pretty close to our low for the night, that low happening in the early hours of tomorrow morning. So not terrible as you send the kids to school. As you pick them up, though, it's going to be hot. And then later this week, it's definitely going to be hot. So be aware of that. Send the kids with extra water as they go on off to school, because we do have an excessive heat warning in place. This officially starts Tuesday morning at 11 a.m. and it continues until Thursday at 8 p.m. So all of Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the National Weather Service has deemed this excessive heat warning. Valley highs potentially in the 108 to 113 degree range. So we're going to see that gradual warming until we get there. 105 for tomorrow, 107 for Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday looking like our warmest days of the week. I'm forecasting 109 right now. The possibility of hitting 110. If we do hit that 110, we'll be tying records. The records for those days are 110 degrees. Now, here's the thing. This alert does expire Friday and Saturday and then into Sunday, but look at that. Temperatures barely cooling down out of that dangerous range, but it's still going to be nice and warm. So this whole entire week heading into the next week, definitely be aware of this heat that is heading our way. We're not catching a break for the next 7 days, and actually even past that, looking to warm up even more.
All right, Leah, we appreciate that. Well, it is almost time to night up. I'm so excited about this. Set your clocks because single game tickets for the Golden Knights are about to go on sale.
And a big honor for iconic strip headliners. How Las Vegas is honoring Donnie and Marie Osmond. And we love connecting with you. Make sure to follow or like us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Also, for the latest breaking news updates, get the free KTNV app. Welcome back. We're coming to the end of another week, and here are some things to know for the upcoming week.
The Nevada Army Guard is sending at least 30 soldiers to Afghanistan